Bally Sports Network. The NBA playoffs are here. The Philadelphia 76ers and the Golden State Warriors have two different plights. Sixers ahead of the division in the NBA's Eastern Conference. And in the Western Conference, the Golden State Warriors are in the play-in tournament. Here to talk about that is Unique Sports International's Torrel Harris, who has a very, very unique story because not only is he the agent of Philadelphia 76ers swingman Tobias Harris, but he also represents Kelly Oubre Jr. So first and foremost, Torrel, thanks for joining us here at Bally Sports Network.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course, man. So you have I see a lot of NBA players who utilize their families as their representation. What made you decide to get into sports management and represent your son, Tobias Harris?
Well, you know, I've been running my sports management company since 1988, and been through a lot, many years, seen a lot. So it's just like, I know he's my son, but I'm also an agent. I've been doing it for 33 years. So when I first started, my goal was to help young fellas out, help people out. And I got a first chance from George Gervin. I did estate planning for George Gervin. I was a financial planner. And I was, you know, me and George we was good friends, but he was really impressed how I handled his financial planning when I did the estate planning. So he asked me, you know what, you should be my agent. And I'm like, agent? I don't know nothing about being an agent.
When you deal with players and you do money management and you also negotiate contracts, what is the biggest misconception about athletes and agents as it relates to negotiating contracts?
Well, you know, you got to care about your guy. You got to have a strategies. You can't just like, okay, tell him to take anything just so you can make an agent can make the commission. It's all about a strategy. It's all about a plan put in place. And what I have learned over 33 years is I have a solid plan. I have solid strategy. And if I feel that my player is worth more money, I'm not going to allow him to take less money.
The 76ers are doing extremely well. You and I have talked off here just about his season. Tobias is playing stellar basketball, yet he was snubbed from All-Star voting, and I feel like he's been taking it out on the court. Walk me through that. What's this season been like for your client?
Well, he got a great coach. So you got a coach to know how to utilize his skill set. Tobias is an extremely talented ball player. There's only a few coaches that utilize. Stan Van Gundy was a good coach also with him. And James Baracco, he coached him a little bit. He was a good coach for him. And then, but Doc Rivers sees all his weapons. Like Tobias has an arsenal that's unbelievable that he ain't even showed half of it yet. Mm-hmm. But when you have good coaches like Doc Rivers is allow you to play your game the way you can play, you're going to see what you're seeing right now.
Taking a cursory look at the NBA standings, the Western Conference as it stands now, the Golden State Warriors are in the play-in tournament. Mm-hmm. As an agent, are you concerned about health as it relates to your client, Kelly Oubre, and playing for the Warriors? Like, these guys are competing for an 8th spot. The Warriors have had a storied career this year, particularly as the fact that they dealt with injuries, but as the chance to go to the playoffs, do you worry about injuries as it relates to Kelly?
Oh yeah, well, you know, first of all, Kelly, he hurt his wrists in practice and dunking on somebody, came down hard on his wrist. And then the team was shorthanded with players, and this guy is like, he's tough as I don't know what. So he played on a messed up wrist, okay? He shouldn't have played on that wrist, played 20 games on a messed up wrist. And then he dunked on somebody ferocious, and he came down so hard on that same wrist and re-injured. But like I was telling him, your health is more important because your wrist is, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, he has like an 8.5 versus pain. So it's kind of hard when that's your shooting wrist and that's your his dunking when he's dunking on everybody, you know, on his left hand. So health is very, very important. And the doctors advise him to rest and heal it, and hopefully as they go in the playoffs, it may heal. So we're looking at the best that it will heal for.